Am I on the right audio?
Sure are.
Oh no.
Sure now.
Uh-oh. Rewind. I think this pack is salvageable. Yeah, they'll never know. They'll never know. Greetings, you junk trollers. I hope you are doing well. My name is Graham and welcome to the Crack-A-Pack here on LRRMTG. Please follow the channel. We are opening a pack of Ravnica Allegiance, and I've decided to be really energetic about it because it's the first pack I'm recording on this particular recording day. This was given to us by Nathan from Calgary. Wait, hang on. MF probably means Magic Fest. It's probably Magic Fest Calgary is probably what that means. Well, let's begin regardless. When did we even... I don't remember going to a Magic Fest of Calgary. I remember going to like 2 or 3 GPs there, but I don't remember going there under the Magic Fest banner. But I guess we did, or someone did. That was probably it. Someone else went and brought this back. Like, I don't know. Maybe Nelson went there to judge or something. Slimebind is our first card. It's 1 and a blue for a creature enchantment with flash, and the enchanted creature gets -4/-0, which is a great way to survive while you're building up the critical mass of gates that you need to demoralize your opponent. The gates deck was fun. Or the high alert deck, that also worked. Slimebind was relevant. Slimebind made you not die. Savage Smash is honestly also a very good way to not die. It's just that it was in 2 colors, which was okay. It just meant it wasn't as high a pick, because you didn't necessarily want to be like, yeah, I'm definitely in Gruul. It's 1 red-green for a sorcery. That's the other downside. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. It fights target creature you don't control. On the other hand, I've lost many a game to my opponent just going, Savage Smash, kill your thing, attack you for like 5, and then the next turn doing it again. Vizkopa Vampire is 2 and an Orzhov mana, so 2 and a white or 2 and a black, for a 3/1 vampire with life link. Orzhov vampires looking for allies in unlikely places in case their new guildmaster turns on them. The fate of the Obzedat is proof of Kaya's power and her hatred of the living dead. I guess that's basically saying that the vampires are like, okay, Kaya doesn't like ghosts. I'm a vampire. Where's her line on Living Dead? Am I safe? Or does Kaya also not like vampires? Anyway, then Kaya went to Kaldheim to hunt a Phyrexian, so the vampires are probably safe. Undercity Scavenger. 3 and a black for a 3/3 Ogre Warrior. When Undercity Scavenger enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Undercity Scavenger, then scry 2. That was fine. That card was fine. I didn't even talk about Vizkopa Vampire. That card was also fine. Neither of those creatures are like absolute bangers, but when you ran them, they did stuff and you were like, oh, maybe this creature's a little better than I think. I'd say that's true of both of those. Sagittars Volley, 2 and a green for an instant. Destroy target creature with flying. That happens regardless. Then, Sagittars Volley deals 1 damage to each creature with flying your opponent's control. So if they have if they perhaps are running Orzhov, and they have a lot of those spirits flying around, this was occasionally very good. Except that I think I saw this card played like once ever. It's major sideboard times, I think, in that particular instance. I mean, another good reason to be Gruul. We've got a Frenzied Arynx. It's part of the vocal system, I think. 2 red-green for a 3/3 Cat Beast with Riot and Trample and an activated ability that's 4 red-green. Frenzied Arynx gets +3/+0 until end of turn. Riot, by the way, is the Gruul mechanic. It says this creature enters the battlefield with your choice of a +1/+1 counter or haste. So sometimes you just kill someone with it by surprising them with a 3/3 Trample Cat. But a 4/4 Trample Cat that on your next turn can probably be a 7/4 Trample Cat is also pretty good. I'm sorry, Cat Beast. It's no less likely to make an adorable meow when cast on Arena. Gruul Locket. I will never stop making fun of Arena for its dissonant sound effects. Gruul Locket is next. It's 3 mana artifact, tap to add red or green, and for Gruul, or any combination of 4 mana that is red or green, and tap it and sacrifice it, draw 2 cards. I think I've made much airtime about the clue stones on a previous episode of Crack a Pack and how they were bad. The lockets are much better. They're still not amazing, but like if you need to run a 3-mana Signet, at least late game you can cash them in for some cards. These were much better than the clue stones. Oh, it's Wreckin' Beast. 5 green for a 6/6 beast with Riot and Trample. 6/6 Trample tends to break a board stall in kind of a big way. Or it could be a 7/7 Trample on your next turn. Still, 6/6 Trample, that's big and scary. And yet, I feel like I saw this card way less than I would think just from reading it. Maybe 7 is too expensive. Senate Courier, I saw a lot of this one. 2 and a blue for a 1/4 bird with flying. And for 1 and a white, Senate Courier gains Vigilance until end of turn. Now, I mentioned the High Alert deck. High Alert was an enchantment that let your creatures deal combat damage equal to their toughness rather than their power. So this being a 4/4 flyer for 3 was suddenly very good, and making it a 4/4 vigilance flyer for 3 was even better. Man, talk about big 6/6s. It's Scuttlegator, 4 Simic for a 6/6 Crab Turtle Crocodile with Defender. Crab Turtle Crocodile. It's a turtle shell. It's a very literal interpretation. It's a turtle shell with the head of a crocodile and the tail of a crocodile and crab legs poking out of it. And perhaps most upsettingly, I'm only just now realizing, is the head of the crocodile has those strange crab-like eye stalks coming out of its eye sockets. And now I actually really dislike looking at this. I wish I hadn't noticed that. Happy to share it with all of you. It has an activated ability for 6 Simic. So that's 8 mana, Adapt 3. So Adapt was the Simic mechanic. If this creature has no counters on it, put 3 counters on it. So you could do it more than once if the counters got removed somehow. But if there's any counters on it, you can't adapt at all. As long as Scuttlegator has a +1/+1 counter, it can attack as though it didn't have Defender. So if you put a counter on it some other way, suddenly it's a 7/7 that can attack with horrible eye stalks. I am disquieted to know that. Pitiless Pontiff, white-black for a 2/2 vampire cleric, and for 1 mana and sack another creature, Pitiless Pontiff gains Death Touch and Indestructible until end of turn. The Orzhov deck had a sacrificial sub-theme going through it, the Church of Deals, as it were. And you could sacrifice your creatures with Afterlife, and then you get your little 1/1 flying spirits, and the Pontiff, could really threaten to trade for some stuff by getting Death Touch and Indestructible. Oh, wow. This is a card. I love this card. If you got to cast it properly, it was like, why is that an uncommon? Because it felt mythic. Flames of the Razeboar, 5 and a red for an instant. Flames of the Razeboar deals 4 damage to target creature an opponent controls. Then, Flames of the Razeboar deals 2 damage to each other creature that player controls if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. You ever just let your opponent go to attacks and then wipe their whole board? It's situational. Like, at its baseline, it's a 6 mana instant to deal 4 to a creature, which is medium. But if you could get it to operate at maximum value, it felt like, I don't know, a card from a different card game snuck in. Very cool. Oh, it's Pteramander. What's up, Pteramander? Pteramander says Patran's Rights. It's a single blue mana for a 1/1 flying Salamander Drake. And for 7 and a blue, Adapt 4, but this ability costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery in your graveyard. So you make that into a 5/5 flyer for a very cheap. You play this, you play a bunch of instants and sorceries, you make this into a 5/5 flyer, you win a Pro Tour. You know, that's how that goes. Good job, Pteramander. And a rare, just double checking. Yeah, we got a spirit token. We got one of those spirits, actually, like I mentioned. There we go. These are the ones that I was talking about that keep dying. And a Rakdos Guild Gate. And the gates are in contention for high picks in this format, but maybe not out of this pack. Our rare is Pestilent Spirit. It is 2 and a black for a 3/2 spirit with Menace and Death Touch, and instant and sorcery spells you control have Death Touch, which it says here any amount of damage they deal to a creature is enough to destroy it. So obviously that pairs well with Rames of the Flazeboar. We are starting early today. Flames of the Razeboar. but Flames of the Razor is good in its own. Sagittar's Volley. Destroy a creature, and then it deals 1 damage to each creature with flying that your opponent controls, so that it would just kill them all. This would combination there. Still probably not worth running Sagittar's Volley, but yeah. What would I take out of this pack? Depends on how much I feel like belligerently forcing gates. I don't think it's Rakdos Guildgate, because that wasn't high on your list of cards you wanted in the Gates deck. The Gates deck didn't really center in red-black. So I would probably take Pestilent Spirit, actually. I think it's Pestilent Spirit, but probably any of the uncommons are justifiable first picks as well. I don't know. This was honestly kind of a fun format, which is good because the pack is worth $1.05. It's not, we're not like spinning value here today. May I guess is the highest value card? Is it Terramander?
It is not. It is Pestilent Spirit by 11 cents.
It is Pestilent
by 9 cents, sorry.
It's Pestilent Spirit by 9 cents. All right. Well, fair enough. For a while there, Terramanders were hard to find. Well, thank you, Nathan, from MFN Calgary, which James informs me was from March 2019. So I don't think I went to that. But Nathan did and gave us this pack. So thank you for that. If you want to send us a pack, you can do so to the address on your screen. And if you want to support us directly, not just this show, but everything we do, you can do that at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, or by following and subscribing on our Twitch channel, or just by following this channel here, or just by watching, commenting, interacting, telling your friends, all that stuff that YouTube cares about. It's just nice that you're here, honestly. I'm here. I've been Graham. James is here. He's doing the tech stuff. Matt is not here, but he will be later when he edits this video. And Heather put these online. And I think she might be around, but that's sort of irrelevant to this moment in time. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And we'll talk to you next time on Crack a Pack. They're finished high, at least.